quick one. We discuss the secret to world peace. It's it's simple, really. Yeah, it's relative crime instead of absolute crime. Relative crime is the best alternative to resolving the issue of having to choose between system and criminology. Yeah, because the system and the criminal is composed of people who have to be born, who start off in the community. Both those two evils come from the community. Yeah, so when the community is trying to decide on well, who's right and what's in the best interest of fairness, they treat both those two evils, um what's the word, in an honest way where they like open and neutral. Yeah, but the solution can't be found when the community does this. We can't find the solution, but I've got one. You see, I'm a man that offers solution. Yeah, so at the moment the system is dealing with absolute crime. A crime is a crime regardless. A crime is a crime. A sin is a sin regardless. But that's for religion. In terms of humanity and communal living, you must deal with relative crime. Relative crime is basically, not all crime is as severe as um, you know more as what you imagine. Yeah, because you can't tell me a man who steals an apple to feed himself, yeah, is just as guilty as a man who steals some kind of material thing that he can't eat. Yeah, like if you look at what human beings do, killing another sentient being to feed yourself, whether it's a plant or an animal, is crime by that definition, because now taking a life is crime. So you have to say relative crime. Yeah, there's crime that's harmless and there's crime that's very harmful. You have to say that. When we kill cows and sheep to eat, that's harmless in our community. To the sheep community, obviously, it's murder, and it's harmful to them. So you have to know what community you're in. You're in the human race. When you're in the human race, what's harmful to us, what's harmless to us, might be harmful to other communities, and what's harmless to us might be harmful to us, might be harmless to them. So we have to know that we're a human society, and in a human society, we need to work with relative crime. Now, if somebody has stolen an apple and somebody else has stolen jewelry, you can't say these two people are the same, yeah, in your eyes. Even Jesus Christ was a criminal because he overturned the tables. That's damage to property, yeah, in the temples, and but you wouldn't say that he's that kind of criminal. So we can't deal with absolute crime. We'll never solve anything, and will lead to painful decisions having to be made, and the community is not willing to make those decisions. So what I'm saying is that relative crime, where the system can't treat crime that's done when somebody needs to eat, yeah, the same as crime that is done when somebody is just basically doing an economic crime. Yeah, because when you deny someone the right to eat, that's worse than feeding yourself. Yeah, then, because if you go into a lion's enclosure and it's caught a deer and you're hungry and you need to feed the rest of your village, you you're stealing from the lion, but you need to feed yourself. So I wouldn't do that if I was you. Or a tiger. I've seen a tiger mow down a man. There was a story I saw online, but that's anyway. Back to the story. Back to the concept I've introduced. Relative crime, where we say, okay, someone has and it works both ways. Yeah, the criminals have to learn to steal properly, and the system has to ease up a bit. Yeah, you can't be too vigilant for crimes which are not harmful to anyone. Yeah, you can't be too vigilant with that. And the criminals also have to learn you can't victimize the same person too much. He's got to feed himself as well. You have to be fair in how you criminalize yourself. Yeah, you have to make sure that everyone is treated equally in terms of criminality. Yeah, you can't okay, they've learned not to discriminate, but there's still a few things that they have to sort out. And even you as a targeted individual, if you're choosing to be a criminal, be a fair one. Yeah, be a fair criminal, and don't commit, because the definition of crime would have to be changed. Yeah, where you can't describe crime as just, there's some things which have to be decriminalized. Yeah, because it just doesn't make sense. It's not harmful to anyone. So they're making a change too. So we need to go along that path where the criminals become fairer and the system becomes fairer too, and becomes um you know, you can't be too strict with human beings. You just can't. We're not robots. You can't be too strict as long as it's not harmful. Yeah, because like the two objectives for mankind should be, yeah, to preserve the human race for eternity and to moderate. Those are the two fundamentals that we should have. As long as those two fundamentals are not compromised, it's not harmful to the human race. Yeah, if we want to preserve ourselves for eternity, and somebody says they want to do this, and you check it against that and it's not harmful, nothing wrong with that. Yeah, so we have to learn how to police the people, and the criminals have to learn how to be fair criminals, you know, because what we call them criminals for, yeah, in some circumstances, it's not crime. So the only way to get rid of crime is to decriminalize the things which do no harm, and then people will still be doing these things, but we won't label them as criminals. Yeah, only those who do serious harm will be labeled as criminals. Yeah, so that's the best way to go. If you stop being so ridiculously strict, where you're like, you know, to steal an apple and you arrest man, and you steal an apple 3 times, you needed to eat 3 times, um, and somebody puts you in jail for life. It's not. That's just wrong, man. Yeah, so we need to stop being like that, and decriminalize certain things. Yeah, harmless things, relatively speaking. Yeah, and then see where we go from there.